Look, backs up against the wall. OMG, might be time to see if they've got that dog in them. You know?
If Hery's open.
Maybe they need the on-demand, untargetable... Oh, God. Give it to Kanavi again, please. They banned Poppy for it. I feel like that sets up for Nephiri.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Also, picking Aurora to what Jace through. Jace is really strong. So I don't think 369's Jace has been, you know, the Jace of all Jaces, but I still wouldn't give this champion away to pretty much anyone or anything in its current form.
All right, Kanavi. Do we run it back?
Might just be a... It could all... Well, I guess Yone's banned. I was thinking of, like, you know, Sedge plus melee, which always sets up really well for Creme.
We're going to keep our cards concealed for now. Just go for some other standard pieces. You have the makings of a strong poke and siege composition right now, just off the strength of these two picks.
Yeah, you already are showing so much poke between these two. As OMG, if they do end up going for the Ambessa, likely to see... I could easily just see a Xin Zhao thrown down here for Heng. Could be a possibility, but... I know something that we kind of wanted to talk about, though, going into this match. Rafa did tease out that a lot of the old pieces of old OMG are in this group. We have Shanji, Aki, and Creme.
Yep.
And going up against Linfeng, too, for OMG, I mean, a real opportunity for Linfeng to continue to kind of prove that, you know, he could be the next Creme. Creme, a player that started off with OMG, was really strong individually right off the jump, and someone who has really been climbing through the ranks and the ladder of LPL, trying to move up to top teams and prove that he can be a top mid. So curious to see him going up against Linfeng today, who I feel like is a strong point for OMG and is really trying to do the same for himself in his second year of his career. It's puppy time. I know.
I really
Kanavi
didn't want
to.
I didn't want to interrupt story time because like in all seriousness, that is one of the things that we have enjoyed about Linfeng's journey so far. He is a rookie. This is his debut year in the LPL, and a lot of his champ pool and his kind of development in the OMG internal development team was very similar to the path that Creme took. Creme was a main franchise player for OMG for years before he finally got a chance to go to top esports. So it is a bit of a uphill climb to go up against, especially since, Creme today has performed considerably better than anything we got from him at first stand. So the Yone game in particular is very strong. Obviously, we still don't know what champion he's getting in this game, since the Jays could be flexed between him or 369. But as you called out, the fact that Nephiri is locked in, this is the first time I'm seeing a Nephiri being paired with a poke and siege composition. But the theory, I imagine, is you chunk them, and as soon as they're super low, you set the dogs on them, and you get the resets going.
Yeah, and if they ever go on you, you just press W. It's fine, Just goodbye.
Goodbye and good night.
Yeah, control mage taken away, going up against the Aurora. I think that we don't have enough CC to pilot a Vlad here. If you are Creme, to course Vlad into Aurora. Matchup we saw really get popular with Fearless Draft. As we do have Creme, of course, access to any all champions in the Rolodex. No Fearless bans, of course, in our best of ones, and does decide to go for the ever-growing in popularity Rise in the mid lane. So that Empowered Rune Prison could give nice direction for Nephiri, some gank assists, and also Jace plus Rise as solo laners, really strong and really hard to move. These guys are really tanky. MF is not the champion that can move these champions later on. If you pick MF, it is balls to the wall early game, man. There's nothing else you got going on, and I guess that's the plan for OMG.
Well,
I don't like it.
We're going to see if Moham can set up the Misfortune combo with strong lockdown. Normally, you would see something like a Rel, but with Alistar still available, kind of risky to blind that in the face of Crisp. So going for something a little bit more safe would be the call here, and non-committal engage is going to be the name of the game from Moham's Nautilus, as you can always just send a def charge, and if it's good, layer the bullet time right on top of it. And hopefully for OMG, if you are working with Heng on this Nocturne, by turning out the lights, you can give yourself maybe more creative angles here.
I think this draft is much better for top esports. I don't see how Jace and Rise can be moved out of their own lanes. And they get pretty tanky for solo laners later on in this game. And your carry is Misfortune, who is not the best when it comes to dealing with tanks. And you are going up against an Alistar as well that I find it be very valuable in this game. I think the top actually has a really strong draft for me. That they have a really heavy advantage going into this one. I just think it's going to be so hard to move Creme and 369 later on with the scaling that we've seen on the grass Jace or just the Rise. Who, you know, you're going to go Roa Seraphs, potentially. You're getting tanky one way or another. I think it's going to be really, really tough to move either of them. And the way they play off each other in sides, it's going to be a hard game if you're OMG against a team that you're already disadvantaged against. So I don't love the approach they threw out for this one.
All right, so tell me, Matt, what is the only hope then for OMG? Are you just banking on massive cheese ganks and just getting this Misfortune snowballed and just super ahead of the item curve? Is that the underlying hope?
I don't know all the matchups for Nefiri jungle, but I'm wondering if you hit a Q as Nocturne, if you're able to keep up as Nefiri tries to run away early on. So, like Aurora, it's not free push into a Rise, but you can definitely contest it. Maybe you can get up in the face of enemy jungle, you know? Nothing's free push into Rise, I know.
I think if Nocturne evades you on Nefiri, you just get next to a wall, you hop over it with E, and you laugh at Nocturne, who doesn't have ways to scale terrain.
Yeah. The Q's a nice buff, though, and again, like, that is depending on where you are at in the jungle. I think that's probably the best path to success here for OMG. That and they have to be very disciplined about fighting early and fighting hard early.
Okay, well,
nice.
Creme is gonna be forced to burn Flash as walks up and gets snagged by Moham. All right, maybe there's an advantage for OMG to play off of a flashless Rise. Linfeng and Heng. Maybe Moham, if he can get out of this lane from Starry and look for a decent roam timer, that's how you can get your snowball going. Kanavi forced away. Linfeng is really trying to at least get some vision down on this red buff and get some major intel on top esports.
Yeah, we're not spotted, but assume that top's red is warded. As... And I will say, diving through this, if top esports aren't disciplined about the fights they take, again, it is poke Ferris, so a little bit burstier, and the DPS from MF and Bessa, if they overcommit into them and allow MF to auto-attack a lot or get a nice bullet time, that could be an issue. So, again, any game, they're past to win. I think that my greatest concern, though, if you're an OMG fan, just... Again, Rise and Jace, especially with this grass Jace build, who is going to move these champions later on in the game? Like, who's actually to contest them in the side lane? I just don't see the answer for that. And that's where my concern is for OMG. Just, again, they have to play this game so fast and so clean to make sure it's a win. It's kind of the issue that top esports was running into at first stand, Rafa, where, you know, you have MF, and if you don't play an MF comp well early on, your game can end really quickly.
Yeah. Small win. OMG get the level 2 push first, so they're able to get this wave crashing in. I still think for the next 3 minutes that there is a window to try and punish a flashless Rise in mid lane. That will have to come at Moham getting a chance to get out of this lane and look for a roam timer and be willing to maybe sack his own flash or just really force the advantage. Because as you said, if this composition doesn't play fast enough to really just snowball the game, then yeah, it's pretty hard. As Kanavi suspects that someone's invading his jungle and realizes that his blue is under pressure, and I don't think Kanavi is gonna at least go into it right away. The roam from Moham.
Oh, we got it.
Oh, nicely done from Kanavi.
Oh my gosh.
That stings for Heng.
That's a killer. And again, OMG for me, like, this is, I think, the right idea or the path to victory that I could see if you're able to get up in the face of Nefiri early on as the Nocturne, who can be really strong, especially in duels. You land that Q, it's a great steroid. A couple nice steroids on Nocturne in this kit early on, but not going to feel very roided out after having that blue buff yoinked. And now Kanavi going to set his sights on the bot lane. OMG, Starry and Moham paying respect to the fact that Kanavi could be there, could be sniffing. Oh,
Q flash, punting Moham right into the minion wave, and that means that there's nowhere for Moham to go. He still has a flash, but he's not going to burn it because he knows he's gone. And this just comes down to don't need to kill over to Kanavi, and just like that, Matt, the dogs are out again. Woof, woof. Let's go, Kanavi. First blood on Hery.
I mean, our man threw a dredge line into Narnia after getting bonked by Crisp. Unfortunately, it just wasn't it for Moham. As he falls. That's, again, first blood over to the doggo. Good punish coming out from Heng. Best play available for him to deny the respawn Raptors. Unfortunately, Kanavi are going to try and do the same. Moham going to play some defense. Will be spotted. Crisp on the backup.
I mean, he's eviscerating in just to kill the minion wave. He's got Crisp in his back pocket, so he's confident that he doesn't need to retreat. Heng is going to match. Moham, you don't win this unless Starry can get there super fast. Kanavi pops the W. Still has a flash available. Now he's playing for it. Oh, okay. You know what? Kanavi got a little too fancy with it. Doesn't end up burning the flash, but Starry burns both of his summoner spells to make that happen. And they got a shutdown.
I mean, if Chris was able to cancel this, could be big. Oh, nice toggle there. Observer is making us do a little bit of second guessing. The way that Kanavi definitely overstayed for that buff a little bit. But hey, good contest, good defense coming out from OMG. Again, the camp being defended. The fact that Heng was able to at least take away the respawn Raptors is decently nice. So the good consolation prize here for the Nocturne, who was able to start with the Phage. And of course, with OMG picking up that kill on the bot side, they did utilize the strut passive on the Misfortune. They sent her up towards top side, and this has not been responded to by Top Esports. So potential that we have early grub take here for OMG, which again, I think they need to do this. They need to make plays early. I think this is good from OMG, and would be a little bit surprised if Top Esports actually decided to contest.
Kanavi getting the jump on the Linfeng. Level 4 to level 6 on the Aurora. Linfeng still has not popped the Between the Worlds, just trying to bait Kanavi in. There's the flash, and maybe Kanavi's just getting way too comfortable trying to style on them with Hery, but he dodges the Path of Darkness from Heng. Good patience, and somehow Kanavi survives.
So that should be grubs that go over to the Nocturne. As yes, Kanavi was able to live, but not for free. So is Heng gonna try and get going on these? Does have smite for one, but gonna be forced off the others.
Realm Warp is coming in. Creme is gonna collapse, and now Heng.
Okay. That's bad.
Oh boy, you know, OMG feeling bold after being able to force out Kanavi, but just not respecting Top Esports' ability to collapse like that.
And Linfeng's in base with no TP, so down a man no matter what. Ambessa also no TP bot. That contest was just not available. So Heng falls. Other two grubs look to fall to Kanavi. Did save smite for this one. Getting a little frisky.
Yeah. At least OMG's bot lane has one timer to force Kanavi off the last grub, make it a little bit difficult for him to secure freely, since down a flash and needs to use the E to get out over the wall instead of just being able to burn down the last grub. But I'm sure the Top Esports will have a chance to look again, but Kanavi not going to stress about it, wants to continue power farming towards the bottom side of the map, maybe play towards JackeyLove onto Hery's Ambessa. The Dragon is still available for a taking, so that could be the next objective that Top Esports want to look for instead. And I want to circle back to the state of OMG and their snowball. The only person that's really gotten to kill was Starry, just being able to punish Kanavi overextending in the bot side of the map. But it's not at the accelerated state that you really need it to be for this Misfortune to work.
No, JackeyLove's done a nice job of you know, trying to keep MF down a little bit. You do see Heng clean up the last of the grubs. It will be 2-1 count for OMG. But yeah, I mean, again, like as time goes on, this game gets very hard for OMG in their composition. And even look at the top lane CS differential so far. 369 up heavily in this matchup. That We did see at least last split, a lot of people preferred the Jace side, and definitely the case this time around as well.
And top esports pretty much getting free scaling in a majority of these lanes. Creme never got punished while he was down a flash for the first 5 minutes, so seemed like a missed opportunity for OMG, but maybe top esports just being able to play defensively enough to never give them that window here.
Yeah,
at some point, I feel like OMG just need to pull the trigger somewhere. They, like... yeah.
I think a lot of it was that, like, first play was spent trying to invade the blue buff, which Kanavi was able to secure. Like, that was a time where Moham could have walked mid, and they could have tried to punish a flashless Creme, but they kind of wanted the pressure and wanted to go try and contest.
Sure.
But, like, a few things for me, I mean, we talked about setting the Fury behind. That's not been accomplished by OMG. Talked about the issues of playing into a tanky comp when you have lower damage carries. Like, MF's not the kind of champ that's going to, you know, carry your late game damage DPS compared to other champs. And especially going up against a Ryze Jace, I just think it's so tough to operate as MF Aurora in that game, because, like, what do your R keys do to those two champs when they're able to absorb everything and then just smoke you, like, when your R's are not up? And if they can survive that, make plays around that, it's great. And speaking of R's, Creme.
I mean, the bullet time tries to kill the wave here, but it's a 4-on-2, and not even a flash from Starry is going to save him from certain death. Nicely done by Crisp to lead the charge with the turret dive and just popping the ulti. Clinical stuff from top esports. If there is ever a chance for OMG to really punish the kind of the risky and the playfulness that top esports, that happened, you know, a few minutes ago. Seems like top esports are now all business.
10-minute row completed for Creme, who has 2 kills to his name. First feat also secured here for top. And, I mean, how easy was that dive? You get to realm warp in, you pop Unbreakable, and you don't even need to use your jungler's untargeting ability to get out of the tower. It's just Alistar presses R, and that tower doesn't exist anymore. So, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I'm not sure you sound the most convinced in your own statement there.
Oh, I mean, it is. It's just pretty hard to, like, outplay if you're Starry or Moham. I think Starry ulting the wave was a really nice play. It just didn't matter because you're 4 feet zoo, and Chris on the Alistar can tank it.
Yeah, they pretty much did everything they could do, and unfortunately it just did not matter. You brought all the cards to your hand at the table, and the enemy team just had a better hand. So, can't fault OMG's bot lane. As at this point, top esports just being able to play the map slightly better, as Kanavi was trying to leash this dragon, but didn't have the first move from Creme. Linfeng was lurking around. 360 just pushing in that wave.
I mean, again, I don't think things get better here for OMG. As Dragon secured, Mountain Drake, bonus assists for top esports. Not all going to be that bad, but OMG looking to maybe force here, not turn the target.
Yeah, and they know that Heng down a flash, and the rest of OMG's bot lane, as soon as they started clicking back towards the lane, they knew that there is no way that Moham and Starry could collapse fast enough for a fast play like Chris engaging onto the Nocturne. They just might look again with Hex Flash available if they want to look for Linfeng. There it is! Knocked up into the wall. JackeyLove is going to be able to follow up. But Linfeng popping. Oh, Kanavi wants it so badly. That's a flash out of the Aurora at the expenditure of Kanavi's own flash. And OMG starting to feel the tightening of the death grip that top esports won exact on this game.
It's a 2.5K gold lead for top esports. And again, just... I don't think they can slow down. They're 1-3-1 with the Ryze chase. It's so scary. Just because, I mean, A, those two just delete waves, but also with the TPs and especially the Realm Warp, you can really, like, push out these waves and at least just threaten to make plays anywhere else. And you're always going to have Prio with the Varus mid, so...
Oh, clean flash from 369. They're going to bring 4 members, though. Paranoia into the bullet time. I mean, it was a nice flash from 369, but you can't outplay all of those ultimates being thrown your way. But top esports could look for a collapse now that multiple abilities and tools have been used. Public execution from Hery at least gets him through the backline, and he's out of there. Moham, not the same. Top esports being able to at least trade 1 for 1. They have position over the grubs. And they're chasing for more.
Yeah, but it's funny. Moham, he ulted the Fury, who just went untargetable. And now another dive. Crisp.
Into the wall. Crisp is taking the turret. Might go down to the last turret shot. But here comes the recess from Kanavi with the Hounds. Pursuit. Woo! Man, the barking from Kanavi this game has been pretty much on fire. There's one oopsie in that bottom red side quadrant, but we are getting the Kanavi Nefiri show once again, Matt, and I am here for it.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, it's so tough for OMG at this point. Again, already down Moham on the Nautilus, who threw his depth charge into the untargetable for the Nefiri. And then Crisp just takes aggro, goes down, trades himself, and does not even matter. It's just top esports able to win. This game, I really felt like in draft, this game was very top favored, and it's just like, how do you break as OMG? How do you break these solo lanes? And also, where have these Nocturne ults been, man? Like, we rushed Hexplate. We haven't seen it all yet. And when top esports, they send the house at the Nocturne. Like, that makes it really tough for OMG. Oh my god.
That's a lot of damage. My goodness.
Paper Nautilus.
Empowered Q plus Early's Yumu's rush does.
Folks, this is why we hate Nautilus, by the way. You are so squishy. Don't get me wrong. Your kit's, your R and your Q, awesome at the kit. The shield too is a good champion. He needs some numbers though. Yeah, he's a bit lacking in the numbers department right now.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Linfeng also struggling into the rise at the moment.
Yep.
And as you alleviated your concerns earlier on during the draft, they're starting to show as OMG are now, struggling in not only both of these solo lane matchups. They have not been able to play fast enough to really accelerate the game. Crisp was thinking about a dive onto Hery, but, 369 content with just pulling them away. And for what it's worth, I mean, Heng did get one paranoia off that was proactive in collapsing on the 369, but then it led into their imminent demise between the two towers there. Yep. As now OMG just going to try to hope and pray that they can at least trade objectives while they're down 4,000 gold.
A bright side is that Grubs were split, so able to actually, trade if you want. I'd say this is very much a win for OMG. I mean, resources were split a little bit, but the fact they're trading outer for outer at this point of the game is not terrible. That said, Creme has other ideas. Realm Warp in. Crisp wasn't able to hop in the train. He didn't take the port.
Yeah, that was odd. But you know what? Ult for ulti. JackeyLove suspects that something's up. Uh-oh. Death Charge immediately flashes outside of the cone of bullet time, so he is safe. That's a flash gone for the Varus. Maybe OMG will find an opportunity to punish that.
I mean, there's no objective fight. Like, if you even want to think about fighting either objective, you need the bullet time. You need the depth charge. The fact that JackeyLove on the poke Varus burns his flash to absorb those two abilities is so worth it for him. Like, what play does OMG have available to them now, even for the Dragon? This could be top esports favorite too. Like, while these cooldowns are down, I think that's just a really poor play from Moham and Starry. You need to find something that works. Okay. The flash is out though. That's deep.
I mean, they knew the Varus had no flash, but there's not enough damage to really supplement that paranoia, and you can just tell this is desperation hour from OMG, and they are getting punished for it as Kanavi just runs them down. My goodness. I love seeing the Fury just excel in this jungle role, man. Top esports, making it look good. And I think for future rounds, playing into top esports, this champion is always going to be on the menu if it's open for Kanavi.
Yeah, I mean, Kanavi does look like he has practiced this. He has a good understanding of it. I don't think Nefiri is the most complicated champ in the world to play, but he's using his untargetable pretty well. And able to get over these walls and positioning his hops, I think, in a really nice way. As top esports, I mean, honestly, it has to be somewhat fulfilling for them to really be bashed by the community and come back and put together a performance like this day one back in LPL.
Yeah.
I definitely think that speaks to some resilience of this team, because I mean, all of China had just their microscope under these guys at first stand, and they did not play well, right? They really only beat TL. When you walk out of that tournament, I mean, that's a disappointment if you are an LPL team. Historically, the second strongest region that is the one that competes with LCK the most for the top region. So I think the fact that top esports, again, this has to be a bit of a confidence boost for them. Just be like, hey, we can't return home, be good. Hopefully first down was just an anomaly.
Yeah, I mean, you are in this group expected to be the first seed. Anything less,
or top two for sure.
Yeah, I mean, top two, right? But if you're not getting first seed, you know, then the alarms start setting in and the concerns start, you know, ringing in the fans of top esports. I think something like the international performance that was shown by top esports left a bitter taste in LPL fans' mouths. But this is what restores confidence. This is what, you know, helps kind of get forgiveness back on your side. And if anything for top esports, this is just the momentum you want to be leading the charge with in the group stage. And if you can not only carry this into 3 solid wins, go into your second round and get, you know, a majority of the wins again, you are walking into the Ascend group as by easily one of the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, step one for this is just walking into the Ascend group, right? Which makes this a really big game for OMG too. I mean, it could drop to 0-3 if you're fourth, and you're playing for your lives. You're playing to get top 4 in your group and be able to compete for Worlds. Keep in mind, bottom 2 of Group Nirvana, they're axed until January. We just don't see those teams back in LPL until then, which is that is really crazy. So, like, in a way, of course, you're playing for the top of the table and the trophies. The stakes are always high, but man, you're playing for the right to fight for Worlds. I really feel like that is the highest pressure, the most intense fight that we're going to see from this unique split and format at LPL.
Yeah, OMG going down 0-3 in this group really puts a dampener as OMG going to try again to look for an advantageous pick, but the call of the pack on the untargetability, not an... Oh, the Realm Warp gets Kanavi out. The bleed from the Darkened Daggers finishes off Heng. It's a heist from the side of top esports and just rubs salt in the wound of OMG.
I mean, not just a heist, but shout out to Creme, man, for sheltering multiple puppies into safety, and now he's gonna have to see if he can get himself into safety. Kanavi gonna help, maybe.
Has flash.
Always
gets
going
over the wall. Kanavi re-engages. Call the pack. Oh my God! What is this champion? Bark on the baby. He's howling, and he's putting OMG down in the pound. Top esports getting run down by a pack of dogs.
Good for Kanavi. I'm happy for him. What is on my screen? This is disgusting. Like, what he's able to do, these point and click,
awesome.
on demand,
awesome.
Untargetable. It's
so
filthy.
Awesome. It's
absolutely filthy.
It is disgusting, but it's awesome because it's in my role.
My God.
It is in the jungle role, and I can't even finish the thought. We have a replay, y'all.
Okay, we can't even see the Creme escape as he helped shelter multiple puppies. I mean, shout out to Creme for that. We just have to see the multiple puppies go in and do the work for themselves as Kanavi flashes to get the first kill. That gets the reset, gets the giant shield, able to flip, take down Hery as well. And then JackeyLove, of course, he was able to come in and do some nice work. Yeah, he was like, whoa, what's that the Fury champ do? What the heck is that, right? That's my translation in that moment.
Good night.
Please enjoy.
Yeah. Bullet time is going to kill the wave for a bit. Immediately force the flash away. Good snipe from downtown. JackeyLove. We're at a 12,000 gold advantage. You know, top esports gave this beat down towards NIP just a couple games ago. And now top esports are extending the favor over to OMG. And, you know, if you're not going to respect the Nefuri jungle once, you're going to show it again. And I mean, I don't know how many more times top esports are going to get this champion again until people start respecting it. As Starry, you know what? Kanavi is limit testing now. We're going to see how much damage he can get out. Call the pack for the untargetability. Okay, you know what? Kanavi, limit tested and limit found. There you go.
his top, mid, and AD were all in base, which makes that the best engage I've seen all night. that was the most Giga Chad thing that you could have done, Kanavi. Let's go.
I mean, he was level 14 at the time of that engage. He was 2 levels above pretty much every other champion on that board. He had the Serpent's Fang acquired as well. 369 should be fine. Should be fine. Actually, he's getting collapsed upon by 4 people.
Okay, Moham's
so he might die, but he at least trades 1 back onto Moham. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is taking Otacon on the other side of the map. Top Esports, you know, just check it in, saying, hey guys, I got 4 over here. That's a free objective. As you called out, the Dragon should be next on the menu there. And OMG are just playing for whatever scraps Top Esports charitably will give them at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't look to be much. As big game from Kanavi. Yet again on this Nefuri pick. Oh, okay, we're gonna get a replay. I'd rather see the Dragon being taken. Just get to shred a paper Nautilus here, Rafa. Easy B.
I mean, he's 6 levels down against the Jace. It's that
Congrats on the 115 gold, 369.
Woohoo! I mean, you got
a one big cannon minion.
Yeah, that's a thick cannon minion. I just look at the level advantages. Kanavi is level 15. Heng is level 12. I mean, this is pretty much a scrim game gone wrong and is being played out. For the unfortunate sake of OMG side, they have to live with the consequences of their actions.
Yeah, I mean that started from draft. That's been a non-stop thing all game. And Moham, oh please find him. Come on, Kanavi, you can do this. Yeah.
I mean, just look at the mobility. The fact that you have so much ability haste. You can spam your E's, and Moham is dead to rights. Bullet time gets, unfortunately, not that much done. Crisp. And nice engage from Crisp, baby. Pulverized flash, that sets it all up. Kanavi's diving deep into the backline once again. There's the reset, and Hery, I should say, tries to buy time, and it just does not matter. Top Esports, they're up 12,000, 13,000 gold for the past 5-10 minutes of the game. It's been over for a while, and Kanavi, if you didn't believe it in the first game, you better believe it in the second game. This Nefuri champion is here to stay, and Kanavi's already showing his prowess on it. Top Esports moves to the top of the table with 3 wins.
Yeah, I mean, Top Esports did a lot of barking in that one. Unfortunately, OMG really kind of went down with a whimper today. I'm really disappointed at OMG. For me, this was a team where they were playing series. They were taking teams to 5 and split 1. I thought that Linfeng was a standout. They were playing well together, and now I don't know if it's just the fact that they're stuck to lanes, they can't swap, or just what we saw on the day, but it wasn't a good-looking day here